Final Fantasy VII Rebirth continues the epic adventure with stunning graphics and even more exciting twists and turns. The combat is a blast mixing action and strategy to make each battle feel truly epic. Explore a massive world filled with bustling cities and dangerous dungeons while experiencing an emotional story that will stay with you long after the credits roll. It's awesome to see what happens to Cloud and his friends after they leave Midgar. While the game can feel a bit linear and some story choices might divide fans, the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is still an unforgettable experience. This thrilling adventure with amazing visuals and a captivating story is a must-play for any RPG fan.
So good to see you again. You lost consciousness after awakening to your power.
Persona 3 Reload is a remake of the classic JRPG that mixes dungeon crawling with social simulation, where you fight shadows at night and build friendships by day. The graphics look fantastic, and the combat feels much more polished with smoother mechanics and updated visuals. I loved how they stayed true to the emotional story and complex characters that made the original so memorable. But I did miss some of the extra content from previous versions, which was a little disappointing. Still, the mix of strategic combat and storytelling is so good that it's hard to put down. It's definitely worth playing if you love story-driven RPGs. Metaphor Refantasio is a turn-based RPG that throws you into a massive fantasy world filled with kingdoms, war, and some really cool characters. The combat is pretty deep, mixing classic turn-based strategy with fast-paced mechanics, and the art style is absolutely stunning. The world feels alive, with a lot of unique locations to explore, and some great music that fits every moment perfectly. But I will say, the pacing can feel a bit slow at times, especially in the early hours. Some of the UI could also be a little more user-friendly, but once you get into it, the game really starts to shine. If you love deep RPGs with a strong story and amazing visuals, this one is definitely worth checking out.
Watch out! On it!
Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is an action-packed fighting game that lets you relive all the epic battles from the Dragon Ball universe. And what I really like is how true it stays to the anime with all the flashy moves, destructible environments, and insane power-ups that make every fight feel just as intense as in the show. But even though the combat is fun and fast-paced, sometimes the controls feel a bit clunky, especially when you're trying to pull off complex combos. And while the character roster is massive, it feels like some characters don't have enough unique moves to stand out. But overall, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, you're definitely going to enjoy this game.
Did you think this would please me? Being shown mercy.
Persona 5 Royal is a stylish and addictive Japanese role-playing game where you play as a high school student who leads a double life as a phantom thief. You'll spend your days attending one classes and hanging out with friends, but at night you'll infiltrate the minds of corrupt adults and steal their twisted desires to change their hearts. The game has a really cool anime art style with a catchy soundtrack that will get stuck in your head for days. The gameplay is a mix of dungeon crawling and turn-based combat with a unique social simulation element that lets you build relationships with your confidants and unlock new abilities. The story is long and engaging with lots of twists and turns that will keep you hooked until the very end. While Persona 5 Royal is a fantastic game, it can be a bit overwhelming at times due to its sheer amount of content, and some of the dungeons can feel a little repetitive, but overall it's an unforgettable experience that any JRPG fan should definitely play.